All right, we're going to call our meeting to order. We will stand, please, for the pledge and the prayer. Stand with me. Father, we thank you so much for the chance to be together to do the business. We thank you for allowing us to have a country where we're free to participate in the affairs of government and have a representation. We pray for your presence tonight. It is in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think before we approve the agenda, we do have something. Do we have something to add to the agenda? Is that right?
Yes, the resolution 2026-01.
Okay. Well, that's not under the consent agenda.
No.
You get wet?
Would that be under
Is
the
it-
clerk area?
Yes, in the clerk area.
2026. That's the first one.
You fine?
By way of introduction, our mayor was not feeling under the weather tonight and didn't want to have to exercise his voice a lot and hear him coughing every time he tried to say something. So he asked me if I would chair the meeting tonight, and so that's why we've switched our seats tonight. So I appreciate him having that confidence in me. Before we look at the agenda, before we approve the agenda, we need to look at. There's a resolution. We've provided a copy. The clerk has provided a copy to everyone. It's Resolution 2026-01. We don't need to look at it right now, but we're going to add that to the agenda. We're going to make sure we make a note of that before we look at our consent agenda, which would be to approve the agenda and the minutes and any of the financials. So, what would be your pleasure? Your motion to approve that consent as the consent agenda? Yes, sir.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Clark. Anything else? Second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor of that, Ms. Rattenberg?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Mayor, sorry. I don't know what to call you. Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Parks?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Thank you very much. All right, the agenda audience, now that the rain has diminished, Sheriff, before you sit down, Sheriff, you're the first one on the agenda, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
Just, you can just stay right there. You don't have to come forward or whatever. We want to talk about the animal control.
Well, I met with Lynn yesterday.
Yes.
You know, and Jeff, good seeing you, old son.
Yes,
I hadn't seen you in a minute.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Hadn't seen you. We met yesterday and we're here to help, you know, and I'm learning as I go with this animal control. It's now in emergency management. Animal control is under emergency management. I took on emergency management, so that come with it, which can be quite challenging, as y'all see even here. But, you know, my position was to do what we could do to help. So when Lynn reached out, you know, they reached out to me and I got to looking at it and, you know, just cut to the chase. You know, our contract, we just went up. He just went up on us again. So, talking with the people that had done that job for several years, you know, you guys used to have somebody, I think, that kind of handled that for you, and you had been contracted with the county before to do it, to the tune of, you know, $65 a dog and so on and so forth. So when I looked at it, that's what I shared with Lynn yesterday, you know, what's the most, you know, the cheapest, most efficient way, and in my opinion would be to certify, you know, your people here. We'll do whatever. We're not going to make a dime on you. The only thing we would ask to do is recoup, you know, just recoup our money. That's all we would want to do. But I don't think $65 an animal, compared to when you done that contract years ago, that won't even come close to touching what we have to pay.
Right.
So that would cost you a lot more. We don't know. I just know that other organization entities has got a better, it's less expensive on them than what it is us. So having said that, there's a possibility you could negotiate straight with the animal shelter and get a better price than what I can give you. And the price that I'm going to give you is just to get back what it cost me. That's it. Not a dollar more. Just to recoup what it cost us. And we won't know that unless you go and talk and negotiate with the owner. But like me and TJ again in that meeting with Lynn, you may get a better price if y'all just deal straight with him. Of course, now we're going to be here to help you. Like I said, Lynn told me that ain't nobody got a lot of money. I understand that, and TJ said the certification, for the employee here was $400, and I would even pay that to try to help. If I needed to pay to get your person certified, I'll do it, because in return it's going to help us, a little bit down the road. As you know, there's only 2 animal control officers for the county, for the entire county, and you'd be pretty amazed at how busy that they stay in our county. And the county's growing. Those calls for service, just like what we do, is only going to continue to grow too. So in a nutshell, we will do whatever to help. That's what I'm here for. But I think it's worth you guys entering into at least a conversation with the owner, because again, you may talk to him and get a better deal than what I can give you. And my deal is just because I can tell you right now, there's people that is under contract with him that's not paying what I'm having to pay. So you good chance you'd be in that same boat. Like, well, shoot, Sheriff, we just cut you out, and that's what I would do. I mean, you got to be a good steward of the taxpayer money and cut the middleman out. All I'd be is a middleman, and it's just kind of a no-brainer, to cut me out and deal straight with him if you get the deal that's the possibility of being there. So that's kind of how it was left yesterday. Of course, like TJ told Lynn, we're still here to help. I think your cheapest way out is doing it yourself. I mean, it's to save money, is just handle it, and we'll always be there to help. But I think you're just going to save money if y'all just do it and cut us out of it and deal straight with him. And if that turns out and that don't work out that way, I mean, I'm just a phone call away, and we'll come back to the drawing board and do what we can do.
Would he be able, would he be able to help us with giving a guidance as far as how we need to keep them until we get them to him, and all the legal ramifications of that, or is that in the certification?
Yeah, I think I don't know.
Okay.
But I think, according to TJ, part of that certification, he's going to get a lot of education that probably none of us knows without taking that class. Like TJ's got a whelm of information. Okay. And I think a lot of that would come out in getting the certification to do that. I think he would learn a lot, and then talking to Doc Anderson also, talking to him. But I just looked at it as what's the best way for y'all to reach the goal that you're trying to reach, and that's, I mean, it's expensive on us. Now, having said that, there's a lot of misconception going on with how the animal control is run, and I'm learning as I go, and it's not near as bad as what a lot of people think it is, and we've learned that. And one example, well, they just don't, they euthanize everything. Well, they don't. And we're just learning that they adopt out a lot. And quite a few, and the public don't realize that. I didn't realize that, as I said a while ago, I'm learning kind of as I go. It's brand new to me too, but it's an expensive endeavor for us, but we're dealing with pretty much the whole county. But some comments have been made, and we've not run hard numbers, but some comments, we might just do it ourselves. And that's what we told Lynn yesterday. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's still just a drop in the bucket to what if we were running trying to pull this thing off ourselves, what it would cost this county. It's up there. So
Your own animal shelter is a
Sir?
Your own animal shelter is a large
Oh, but it's a big deal.
overhead expense, yes.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean,
Previous county.
you know, you add no more employees. I mean, right now we only have 2 to start with, and then do that. And we could run a lot of it with volunteers. We'd have a lot of people to step up to the plate. I feel like, but still, you'd have to have. I feel like more people on the payroll, you know, and then you still got a contract with a vet, you know, or even with those certifications, you can't practice, you know, the veterinary service, you know, only the vet can do that. So I just think, well, and we won't know unless you know, enter into those, have those conversations with him and see what you can get it done for. And, I'll be surprised if you can't do it cheaper, just y'all and him, and that don't mean, well, we ain't never gonna be able to call you. That don't mean that. Like TJ told Lynn yesterday, we're still here to help. Even if if you were up and running tomorrow and you had, you know, your people in play to do that, we're still gonna help you, you know. But as far as contracting with me, I couldn't in good faith tell you, yep, I'll do it. 'Cause, I mean, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna make a dime off of Wausau. It's just getting back the money that we're gonna have to spend to take y'all on. You know, it'd be ludicrous not for y'all to explore that, because you may be able to cut me out and save quite a bit of money, and you're not gonna know until you do that, have that conversation with him, so.
And our town does have a pretty comprehensive animal control plan. It's multiple pages. So really what the contract was is that once we did all the things we were supposed to do, we would call animal control to transport them. And so the only difference would be is that we would just transport ourselves if we can work out something with Dr. Anderson and pay him directly.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, and you know, as we would have done it before, you'd call me, you know, my staff would come down here, pick them up, we would be the one carrying them and all that, but we're the one getting charged for it, and that's what I think you're gonna get it done cheaper. I know, I hate to keep saying that, because I don't know what he's gonna say, but I just know there's the other contracts that he holds don't pay what we pay. They just don't pay as much as we have to pay. So if he does the same with y'all, you're gonna do it cheaper than doing it with me. You're gonna save money.
and I'm happy to reach out to Dr. Anderson if that's what the council wants us to do, and have a conversation about the price.
And we're not telling you no now, you know, I'm just trying
And
to,
we appreciate that.
yeah, I'm just trying to,
Frankness, really, that's what we need.
yeah, I mean, just, you know, I got to be right about it, and in my mind, right is to tell you your cheapest route. If you come back and say, we ain't doing it, we want you to do it, then we'll start running numbers. But I just think you're gonna be able to save money. I think, you know. And again, we won't know until you have a conversation with him.
Sure. All right. Do you have any questions or recommendations based on that feedback from the sheriff? I think we've already asked the clerk to pursue this conversation. I don't know if we need to vote again. Glad to do that, but to me, this seems like just a redirection of the pursuit. Maybe not necessarily a new effort.
You don't need a new vote.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Vernon is in exactly the same boat, and they're having this exact conversation. So it may be something you guys could co-op on and split services or something, you know.
Do you contract or have a service with any other municipalities in Washington County?
I don't.
Vernon,
Oh, we do?
I talked to him today.
Oh, so we got one, okay. Like I said, I'm learning as I go, so I guess we do contract with Vernon.
Okay.
You fixed to ask me how much, I couldn't tell you.
No.
I don't know.
Just some clarification. Sometimes, you know, 2 or 3 boards ago, and maybe even 2 or 3 attorneys ago, we were told this, and I don't keep up with law changes. But nothing that you've talked to us about, or nothing that I think we would ask you to do, interferes with the statute that says that you're responsible for bad animals, for things like that. Is that not correct? Is the sheriff's office by statute?
It is, yes, sir, and under the existing interlocal, assuming that we're talking about changing that, terminating it, doing something different, but as it stands tonight, that's correct.
So those things you would still do that are statutory and things like that. We may be an aid to you in helping to hem him up or something, but biting dogs.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, if you were up and running tomorrow with your own people and you know, put that, like TJ said, call her. We're still gonna be there to help you. I'm mainly talking about, you know, the contract and saving y'all money, doing it cheaper than doing it with me, you know.
And I think this is the last thing, Mr. Chairman. I think that probably, we all trust you to believe that you're telling us exactly the way it is, but I think most of us knows that you can't stay in business swapping money.
No.
You may give us what it cost you this year, but if it costs you next year, you'll want us to pay what it cost you then. And as you have to put on somebody, you got to get resources. And then you have to either go before another board that sets up in Chipley or come back to us.
Yeah.
And things like that. So whatever we start for is not what we're going to stay at.
Yeah, and I can go ahead and tell you, you know, based on what TJ, you know, the $65, all that won't even cover our cost with the shelter. $65 an animal. That don't even cover the cost of that. And then we got the cost of the employee, the man hours. That we ain't even got into all that. And I'm like, it's going to be expensive, you know. And I just think y'all can. I hope y'all can do better. And if you can't, I mean, we're gonna make it work one way or the other. You know, we're gonna help you.
Do you have any idea how many calls you're making in Wausau now?
No, you know, Lynn said y'all didn't get a lot of complaints, and TJ said I think they're going straight to us. I think the complaints are coming there, and then I don't know. TJ refers them back because there is really not a contract in place right now since it's come under me. But TJ sent them back there, and it sounds like they're not calling, you know, but they are right now. To tell you how many. But I'm glad you said that because I did want to let y'all know they are complaints, and I'm not telling you a lot. I don't know how many, but they are some complaints coming in to animal control in the town of Wausau inside.
And the way it works now is if they call her, she will call me and say, do you want me to pick them up? Because ultimately, we have to pay the $65. So she doesn't come and collect animals without calling me. Like the other day, somebody left 5 puppies in a crate in front of Dollar General. And there was 5 dogs in there, and she called me. She's like, do you want me to pick them up? It was during the cold weather, and I was like, yeah, I don't have any way to do anything with 5 puppies. So she always calls me, and I think since I've been here, we've only paid 2 times. So.
And I think what she's talking about is she told me the other day that she tries to get those people to call y'all.
Right.
You know, she tries to steer them back to putting that call in here. Yeah, but she says she does get the calls. So.
Yeah, and sometimes it's neighbors just fussing about.
Oh, it is. We get it too.
Oh.
We get that. We absolutely do.
We get some complaints up here, but it's usually neighbors that are arguing about lots of other things.
Yeah.
The sheriff's office or the previous board work has done lots. I'm going to guess in your first term, maybe not that far back, but it was not an unusual thing for us to have every month 1 to 3 people up here with animal control problems, biting dogs and barking dogs and dogs that chase my child or dogs that chase me and things like that. And that certainly, we're not seeing that now. Mm-hmm. Judy, you was here when several have come in and things like that. So I'm thinking that it's better.
Oh, I would think so.
I don't relieve us from having to deal with tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I think Lynn said she follows up right by herself on some of them. Like, all right, you got to tighten up, and it's a growing problem, and it's everywhere. You know, it's not going away. People's just don't seem to want to take respect. His daddy always said, now, if you can't take care of an animal, it didn't matter if it was a cow, horse, dog, or what it was, and you shouldn't have it. You know, that's the way that we were kind of raised. And nowadays, we got them that'll go dump horses off, just turn lugging on the backside of Sunny Hills. You know, we hadn't had that recently, but we have picked up horses. People couldn't afford to feed, and then just go turn them off on them old 2-trail roads, horses. We've picked up horses.
David Corbin's hauled in a million.
That's right. Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
Mr. Chairman, question for you, or for the council. We've got more than one bed in the county. I don't know what all of them have facilities to accommodate, but we may want to check with all of them and even find if we could get a better price there.
Double check that, but I think you're gonna find out that Dr. Anderson's the only animal control shelter we got.
Yeah. And that may be.
I think he's it, you
I
know.
know we got service from another bed, got excellent service and good cost.
Now we got several vets now, and you know, it used to not be that way, but there's several in our county now, but he's the only one that handles, that can take on,
Takes the shelter, that has the shelter.
yeah. It's double check me,
Yeah.
but I think,
Yeah, we would need to, I'm just
Yeah.
doing budget and
oh yeah. Whatever we can do to save money and try to get a solution, that's what I'm here for. Whatever the cheapest route and solution to the problem and get it done the cheapest way we can get it done. That's what we're here for.
Thank you. Should approve.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Appreciate your time.
Yes,
Really
sir.
appreciate it. We know you're busy and we appreciate you.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Fill us in. Thank you. All right. Next item was Jonathan, Board of Constitution, 38, MIT number 138. And I think we have a spreadsheet on our desk. Is that what you're referring to, Jonathan?
Yes, sir.
Is your-
Yes, sir. That's the Wausau CDBG MIT project that we advertised. This is Oid and Cora Drive. We opened up bids on February the 10th. Last Tuesday, we opened up bids on this project. As you see there at the bottom, I'm just coming to you tonight to make a recommendation that we award the project to Anderson Columbia, and this is an award contingent upon the review and the approval from Florida Commerce. This is a Florida Commerce CDBG grant funded project. We can't do nothing without their approval. This just gives us the leeway to kickstart it to go ahead and award this to Anderson contingent upon Florida Commerce's review as well as their approval.
And you highlighted 897, that's the currently projected budget, project cost, or?
The 897 there highlighted in yellow.
Yes, sir.
They had a base bid of $897,053, and if you add up their three prices bolded out, the subtotals, they were just $100 off. It doesn't affect their bid. They're still significantly higher than the low bidder. So their bid being $100 off was
that's just to
was
show
just
us
an error.
that's just to show us that.
I just put it in here correctly because Florida Commerce wants to see, once I send them back, what's right. And they were off by 100, but it doesn't affect.
So your
their bid.
recommendation is back over here, yes? Thank you.
Yes, sir. It's still Anderson Columbia. They were just off 100. I just want to make that note.
Well, the good news is it looks like the budget is $1 million, so we may be able to actually make it.
The budget, I think the total was $1 million, but now you've got Fred Fox fees, my fees.
Right.
There's some fees in there. I think their bid is sitting right at the budget.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
By now, yes.
They're very, very close. If they're either, I don't know the exact construction dollar amount, but they're sitting right there at it. And if they're a little over, a little under, we'll make it happen. I feel good with that bid. And it's, as you see there, it's a pretty competitively bid, 794 is on the low end, but you're right there in the 830s, 865s. I mean, it was had several bidders on it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. So had several folks interested. So you had some good turnout and good bids from all over. I was happy to see there were 7.
Anybody have any questions or clarifications on any of the numbers you're seeing here? Or I guess there's really much to ask questions about here, right? Because it is what it is.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Jonathan, when you met out with the county and others out there, does this bid discount or disallow the portion of fenced circles, or does this include fenced circles and then?
This is just Oid and Cora. We're still kind of waiting. I've not heard back from DOT. I think maybe DOT may have, again, this is recording, so I don't know what DOT will do. I think there's still some leeway there to potentially, once this gets done, that they may tie, and as they tie back up to Cora, that they'll extend that to Oid. Can't guarantee that because I haven't gotten an official answer. We've met with them. Miss Lynn, that may be a good idea to maybe me and you call again, put another bug in their ear. I mean, I think they know about it, but
And he told me when they got a little closer to doing the paving on that project, that he would get back with me.
if I'm not mistaken, I heard that they were gonna pave Finch Circle in like 2028, if I'm not mistaken. It's a ways out, but regardless, I think once we get to that point, they should, feel like
Not for
they'll
the
go.
377, I mean, not for the 77 expansion, it's not a way out.
Right,
But the latest,
But that's 1,300 feet of extra asphalt to do Finch Circle just past Owen Drive.
right.
So we don't have to drive on the pavement and then get on that muddy road for 1,300 feet.
Yeah, there's a quarter of it.
Every indication from them is that they're gonna take care of it.
I felt good when we left the other day, and I've had another conversation with them since then, and you know, it's pointing in the right direction, but I'm not gonna say, I don't know. I mean, DMT could do
You're aware,
whatever.
of course, of Mr. Massey's passing, but the day that he met with us out there is, as much as he had confidence to do so, I think he made a commitment. What I don't know is that he lived long enough and they have enough meetings that he get that to the board and get anything, because we had two sources that was dealing with it. One was the state and one was the county. So,
I don't know that that was shared with the county, but I do know the public works director, and I can certainly meet with him and Miss Lynn out here again with him since the passing, and you're right, and just put that bug in his ear too, within the county.
And the last meeting we had, Mr. Fleener was with Mr. Massey.
was
Talking about the project and committed that the county, even after he left, would, continue to
Well, that's good.
support the project.
That's really good. So again, this is just a recommendation to award Anderson Columbia contingent upon Florida Commerce's review as well as their approval of the bid.
So, I'm sorry, I have a question. So, looking at this mailbox relocate, is that saying that there's 16 mailboxes on Cora Lane?
Potentially, there's a total of 16. Yes, that is 16 mailbox relocates, yes. Now, all of them may not be moved. The center line of that road has shifted over the course of the past 15 years of the county coming out and grading it, so we're shifting that center line back to get it within the center of the right of way. And so we put down 16 because there's, again, potentially there may be only 12 that's moved, so maybe not all are moved, but I wanted to make sure that that's not gonna come back to the city, that would be under the contract's budget and the contractor to do that if it is to be moved. So yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I like the fact that it's as close to the budget as it is. It's not over, the budget's not over the grant. Yet.
all right, what's your favor of the council concerning this recommendation? Do we need a vote?
Yes. Need a motion.
So the motion I need is to award the bid to Anderson Columbia contingent on the approval of the Florida Commerce.
Okay,
I make that motion.
all right.
I'll second it.
All right. Mr. Parks, how do you?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Ms. Rattenberg?
Yes.
All right, Chair votes yes. Thank you very much. Appreciate you so much for the
Thank you.
clear conversation.
Jonathan, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, M. Scott. You can
Lynn and I, Miss Lynn and I talked, I think it was maybe last week at the bid opening. And we are back to a new year, so this is a new cycle of, MSCOP has opened up that is due March the 26th. It's late March, I don't know the exact date. I think they're March the 26th, maybe the 25th, but just wanted to bring this to your attention to, put in an application for you guys to apply, through FDOT's MSCOP funds to apply for a roadway of your choice.
And I put so many on the resolution, if you'll see it on your thing, because that way we can narrow it down if we want to. But these were the ones that we typically have talked about in the past. But if y'all don't like these, then we can add, take away.
I hadn't, Miss Lynn and I talked about it, but I don't
Oh, okay, sorry, Jonathan. So remember last year we applied for 2nd Avenue from Jackson Street to Pioneer, and Third Avenue from Jackson Street to Highway 77. That's what we applied for the last time that we didn't get funded. So I put these back in here. I also put Forest Avenue from Highway 77 to Possum Palace Drive. 4th Avenue from Highway 77 to 2nd Avenue. That's the part that's still dirt in the town. Over by Miss, can't think of her name. And then Memorial Drive from Highway 77 to the end of the drive. That's the one going up to the cemetery. So I just threw them all in there, and then we'll just apply for, we can choose them out later, Jonathan?
I think in the minutes, we need to choose now or at the next meeting. I mean, it's not, well, it kind of puts us, when's the next meeting? March the 19th, and those being due the 26th. Is it doable? Yes, if y'all want to wait till then, I can make it happen, but I would rather have maybe an open discussion than maybe choose tonight, if we can.
You're prioritizing what she's doing.
Right, again, she and I spoke last week. I think it was just in talking, saying, hey, let's get on a resolution, a couple of different portions of roadway, and let you guys decide which one you want. We can't apply for all of these. That's way over the budget. Roughly, I think MSCOP pays for about anywhere from about a $400,000 to about a $600,000 project. That's design, survey, design, permitting, construction, and CEI. So, I think it's whatever the pleasure of the board is to direct us on what road to apply for.
I think she's almost got another priority because the first two is the two that we already applied for, so we thought that was important to begin with. I don't know about the one that the portion's dirt. Are you talking about that's over there?
I'm sorry, not 3rd, 4th. By Miss Spence's house.
Yeah, and it turns and goes back to the middle road.
Goes back to 2nd.
See, that's a dirt road, but it's unoccupied for the most part. No dwellings on it. It's probably traveled some, but I might move it to last priority. But I think it was up to.
I'm thinking, 3rd Avenue, it's almost there because all the asphalt's gone off of that.
Right here.
Yeah. And, from 77, Tom Thumb.
2nd.
That's second. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the two I think.
Yeah. If we can get
But
those two.
that's just maybe you should say that's just the opinion of one, and we certainly, there's merit in all of them.
Right.
Need to discuss all of them.
But based on your experience, if we're talking about 2nd Avenue from 77 all the way to Pioneer, as opposed to 3rd Street, which is just one block, which is it?
I would do both, like, so that
Is that
little
what you
portion,
meant?
yes, sir. For
Okay.
that portion, because this is only I think it's like 300 feet, if I remember right, from the last or the last cycle we did. You can do both of those and lump those into one. Yes, sir. That will put you, that's just thinking, I mean, that's gonna be around a $500,000 project with those two combined.
Okay.
You just don't want to do that road, this road, and two others that put you at 1.2 million, because they'll kick it out in a hurry. Or they'll say, hey, look, we see you've got 4 roads, 1.2, well, cut it in half, pick 2, we'll give you 500 or 600,000. So I've noticed most of these MSCOPs are around the 4 to 6.
So let's divide it up. When we're talking about, just to get everybody's mind, we're talking about 2nd, which is basically this road out here, but on the other side of 77.
Does the 2nd actually have to be paved all the way to Pioneer Road? That's good pavement. Past 4-way stop sign there, isn't it?
And the Tom Thumb?
Yeah.
No, that's horrible.
He's saying
Past the Tom Thumb.
Jefferson.
Yeah, past Jefferson. I think all we need is from Highway 77 down to Jefferson, and that intersection right there.
77.
The intersection
That's a
includes,
piece of it that's good, Mr. Park, because that's where we just put the new bridge in.
Yeah,
And on either side of that is a piece of it, but we're gonna be kind of hopscotch, old and even, older.
but when you get past that intersection, that asphalt's still good. All the way to Pioneer Road. The last time I was on there, just a few months, couple of months ago or something,
And I think what I was thinking was like Mr. Hagan was saying, if you start at the stop sign, you go to Jefferson, it'll be new, then it'll be a section of old, then there'll be a section of new, then it'll pick back old after that. But whatever y'all want, whatever council wants, good with me.
Jonathan, could we, I don't know how much in engineering or even if it's a possibility, could we do on the old, that's still good, just a resurface, a thinner coat of resurface and not have as much engineering and construction cost as we would if we did the whole thing? Or
I think the engineering fees would be roughly the same regardless, but the construction cost would come down.
yeah,
I think your construction on that, just because you probably could get away with maybe a 1.5 inch lift instead of just to resurface the portion that Commissioner Park's talking about, I think is,
So it's just from Highway 77 down to
Yes, sir.
the four-way stop.
yes, sir.
And that intersection will have to all be new. And then a thin surface the rest of the way, you know?
Yes, sir.
Thin.
If I remember right, that's kind of what I did when I looked at it, that, the portion from Jefferson to Pioneer was, I agree, it's not that bad, but the portion from 77 to Jefferson is pretty ate up, potholed and cracked, and I mean, it's brittle.
But then our thoughts are to, based on what you're saying now, is maybe at least include the whole road in the project concept. It'll take the same amount of work, but.
The engineering would be the same, but
Yeah.
the material would be cheaper.
And then we all agree, we're talking Third, which is just over here, adjoining our property.
Yeah.
It's in such bad shape. Want to make sure everybody's clear on the two roads we're talking about. Is that an adequate?
Yes, I think that is perfect, yes, sir. I think that's spot on for what this is.
And if we make those our priorities, and I don't know that we're gonna do it tonight, somebody may have said, "Long come back and think about it," but if we made that our priorities, and we fall short, I mean, we save, how much we save, $100,000, $200,000, could we use that still on something in town, or does that go back to the grant?
I would just put it for what I'd get a good cost estimate for those two portions and just ask for that amount, what that is. I don't know, I can come back at the next meeting or send it to Ms. Lynn, and maybe give me about a week and I can get a good cost estimate to her to tell you, hey, that's about a 400 or maybe that's a 500, but whatever that is, I don't know. I need to go write them again and look and get a cost estimate to you, but I can do that. Just give me a few days.
Okay, and one thing, Mr. Chairman, would say, one we can discuss it down here on the second where it turns back up, is it Japan or, something down here beside me, the Japan, a short piece down to that curve.
Japan or Panama?
Panama maybe, yeah, I think Japan's further, I think it's Panama, and we could take that one, and then this side of town would be paid for resurfacing.
Are you saying add that in the conversation tonight, or after we get the dollar back?
I was just saying, that was my thought, they may left over,
Yeah.
we have enough to resurface it or something or other. You know what I'm talking about? You can look at it between now and then and tell us, that may not even be feasible, I'm just trying to stress.
I do think me and you talked about that maybe either last year or the year before. I kind of remember, but I don't, to be honest, I don't remember exactly right now. I don't.
Okay.
But I
There's the
certainly,
Jackson extension, of course, and then.
okay, I certainly can,
That's right.
okay.
Yeah.
We didn't.
We only paid the Pioneer
To
for
Pioneer,
Jackson.
that's right, I forgot that. So that may not even,
Jefferson. Just looking at my maps. For the load. Okay.
So if we don't decide tonight, will you have time after the March meeting to write this? It's only gonna give you about 10 days. If we don't decide the roads tonight.
I can do it more. I mean, if y'all wanna wait and maybe regroup or come back with a resolution and know of surety what road, I can do it after that. It puts us tight, but that's fine.
Yeah, my concern is
I can do
that
it.
one of the things that Mayor Hagan was saying was that if there's enough money, right, but we need to know, like, I would ask us to concentrate on the two roads that we mentioned.
yeah.
And then if you come back and it's grossly under, we can make another resolution at the next meeting to add the additional road, if that makes sense. Because I'd like to get you working.
Can we do that?
I agree.
You can. I've, if I'm being honest, getting Jefferson and Jackson on the same year is something is unheard of doing two. Now I get second and third, or third and second, with those being that just little portion. I would probably steer clear of bouncing from 3 different places. I probably wouldn't do third, second, and, that's just my opinion. Now, if you tell me to do it, I'm
No,
gonna do it.
you have the experience.
But that's it's seeing 2 in 1 year with Jefferson and Jackson was a shocker to me. I don't know what you've seen in your other municipalities, Jeff, but that was new to me. I've done this for about 10 years, so seeing that was awesome. That's actually because of that I've applied for it, and I'm not scared to do second or third and second, and I've done it in other places. I've just not been successful. But that doesn't mean we can't do it again here. We can search, because that's only I think that's 300 feet. I think it's like 318 linear feet, so that's not that much to do third. I mean, you're talking.
I'd rather see us go after what we're more comfortable or more sure that we might get.
And I would say of the 2, I think we agree that priority would be second, right? Because that's more travel.
Second and third.
Yeah.
Because, third,
Yeah,
almost,
second, first, and third.
almost there.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I've just noticed too, these budgets for Scott Countywide and MSCOP have shrunk in the last 2 years. These are very competitive, and the money's just not there. These are hard to get, and you just kind of had one you just finished, and so these are very competitive. There's a lot of people applying for a small amount of money, but it's worth going to get. You don't know the answer until you apply, so it's worth going to tackle it and see what happens.
And grants could get smaller with the budget problems we have in Washington. They got to get money somewhere to do or not to do something, and grants is always an easy place to.
Yeah.
If it helped a bit, y'all can come back for a single purpose special meeting between now and next month.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask us though to consider,
They'd ask the council to meet another time.
passing the resolution for second and third, based on the conditions we said, if y'all agree with that.
And if we find out we can, if it's not that much, we can come back.
I fear we're going to come back and say only one of them, so I'm not optimistic that we will have.
You got that saved, don't you, Miss Lynn?
Yeah.
That same resolution work, just delete some things and you got it saved.
I'm trying to fix it, we're joking to read it and say what we needed.
If it's appropriate for a motion, Mr. Chairman, I would move that we pass the resolution tonight, and I do it to pass Second and Third Streets are priorities.
That being what we did last year, if I'm not mistaken, you can use that same resolution. I think that resolution doesn't expire, or maybe it does within a certain parameter. Do you know that?
May just have to put a new date in it.
Put a new date
The
in it.
language would be the same.
Yeah, I mean, since it's that, that last year, maybe just copy that same one and reprint it, and you've already got it.
Okay.
And then get it signed by the mayor, or the chairman today. To me, I think, even if you are a little bit under let's say you want to find a job that's 600,000, this only ends up being 480. The lower that is, the better chance you do have to get funded too. I mean, you're not asking for a massive amount.
We've had to fudge every time we're at a day, we've had to go back and beg people.
Right. So,
What would be your favorite?
Jeff, does he need to read the resolution or not?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
If it was an ordinance, but you don't have to read resolutions by title.
okay.
You can, if it's something you just want in the record.
Or you offer that as well?
A motion.
Motion?
Yes, sir.
A motion to the effect?
I'll make that a motion.
You'd be a second.
Huh?
Roger made the
I
motion,
would
you
second
seconded.
it.
Okay, I'll second the
Yeah,
motion.
however you want to write it down.
I got it.
Yeah. Mr. Parks, how would you vote for that?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Rattenberg?
Yes.
And the chair would vote yes.
and just so I'm clear, that's third and that's second from Jefferson to Pioneer. Okay, thank you.
John, I was just gonna let you talk to them about, because in our grant updates, I did not have any update on the Possum Palace legislative application. It's the very last one under the grant update, but we do have an update now.
Yes, I spoke with the architect that began the that started phase one of this. He is on board to help us facilitate phase two. Ms. Lynn and the board. I think when we wrote this grant, we were awarded $425,420 something.
20 or 430.
430, and so we have some money to spend. At the Possum Palace, there's parameters, because there's a scope in here. I don't know the exact things that we're doing. I have it at the office, I just don't remember. There's some fans, there's some siding. With all that said, I've got a hold of the architect today that will look at that scope and give me a price that I will bring back a task order to start working on that design, and hopefully get those out on the streets, relatively quickly.
October 27 will be here in a hurry.
Well, that's 2027.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
October
yeah.
of 27.
So I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but I feel like there's some of this, if the five, Miss Lynn and I talked that Possum Day, the Possum Festival is in August, right? It's the first week of August.
Right.
I think part of this new agreement incorporates some big fans within the facility. And so our goal is to maybe get this out on the streets, get this advertised, get a contractor on board, and let's do it. If not all, let's do some of these updates for that. The fans would be key to get those in there swirling some air when it's hot in August. So that's our goal. It kind of depends on what the architect can help me, but that's what we want to do, is get it out, get it bid out, get it awarded, and get some of those tasks done prior to the festival. That may help alleviate some of the heat.
And I'm thinking is to use the same architect that did the original drawings for the first phase, which would be cheaper, because really all he's going to have to do is kind of redesign, and rather than starting from scratch with another architect. So that was our.
And I feel like too, I think there's gonna be another phase coming too, a phase 3 of Possum Palace, that we hope to get another lump sum, 4, 5, 3, some $100,000 again to do phase 3. So there's some good money coming to Possum Palace, and it's rightfully needed and rightfully so. It's a good event.
We'll have to wait for the big election year for that.
They said phase 3. I mean, I've just been hearing that phase 3 is coming, but
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll take what we can get there, right? Phase 2 will get us some good improvements.
And then before, if it's okay, I'll start on
Absolutely.
the budget before Jonathan scoots out on this. And you can correct me if I got M wrong, Jonathan.
Okay.
So the M0106 is the potable, that's the well project. The generator's been installed. We thought originally it would be the well pump first, but the generator came in. And there's been a delay on some of the well piping. So the new generator's been installed. We tested it earlier this week. It works beautifully. The plan is to start Tuesday on the well pump. And it seems like it's going to take about 2 weeks to complete. One of the things we were talking about there was that they're going to have to cut a section out of the roof to lower the pump into, which they're trying to work out there. Design a little bit, but they have a plan.
There is a currently existing on the roof. There is where this has done in the past, and they plan is to cut the same portion out. They'll pick it up with a crane. I mean, there's no way other than to pick that up with a crane.
Yeah.
So they've got to do something. I'm doing too in Graceville that I'm tearing out the block wall to get the generator out. So there's multiple ways, but y'all had it where your roof already had a gap, and so they're going to cut that out and they'll fix it and
They fix it back
and pull that out through the ceiling.
And this includes the SCADA reprogramming, right?
Yes.
All right, okay.
Yes. And so that should start Tuesday. That well would be offline about 2 weeks, so we'll just be running off of well 3. I did have to get some work done on the generator out at well 3. The fuel pump had went out and it was losing prime. It wasn't kicking on. We've got that fixed. So crossing our fingers, we feel good about it. So the Boyd and Cora, so we awarded the contractor tonight. And next Friday, we'll have a pre-construction meeting, and then after that, we'll be ready to do the notice to proceed.
For Oid and Cora.
Oid and Cora.
No, we won't do anything until Florida Commerce.
Right.
Yeah. So
I anticipate having that back. We're hoping.
Maybe that may be a little. Maybe if we can, that'll be awesome. But that date could get kicked. Florida Commerce sometimes don't get.
They're ready to get it moving.
But maybe we can. That would be awesome.
On the community center over here, we had been waiting on a project extension until September 2026 because we realized that we probably weren't going to make it. We did get that today. Late this afternoon, I got it in my email. And so, we have scheduled,
What is it now?
on the community center across the
Yeah,
street.
what is the extension now?
September, it's gonna be
Oh, yeah, there it is.
September
I'm sorry.
2026.
Yeah.
So, we've got that right now. That's, next Friday's when we're having the meeting on that one.
Okay.
Sorry, got that mixed up. Next Friday is the meeting, the pre-construction meeting, and then they'll be ready to start right after that.
That sounds a lot, I was gonna say,
Yeah, I
the
got
order
it.
core might,
No,
that's
yeah,
maybe
that's
what you're
right.
thinking, but I'm
I
here.
feel
for
bad
it.
because the Chipley Library is starting its construction now too. That poor lady's gonna be running right here.
What time's that gonna be? You'll be here?
Yes, at 10 o'clock. Yeah, Friday at 10 o'clock. On the Possum Palace, that one we still have to get loan information on. I just didn't have time to do it. We've been working these other projects. I'll try to have that to y'all by the next meeting. And Rogers Square, we're still working on the environmental assessment. You see there, we're like into the third month on that, but that just takes a while. And then the legislative appropriation, he just talked about that one. So that's project updates on all the projects.
The Rogers Square, yeah, that's another one that we helped facilitate in getting that secured. Fred Fox is also the grant admin on that. How long did they say? I mean, you said something. They said they're still about a month out. Is that what they said?
They haven't mentioned it.
And they
On
probably
our
won't,
conference
because
call, they
those
don't say.
those are like this. I mean,
Yeah.
some of them take 6 months, some of them, on these other ones we had took a year and 6 months.
Yeah.
And I thought I heard you say a month, but I got you, so you're not quite sure when that, okay.
We're 3 months into it now.
Oh, okay, so you probably
Yeah.
got a little more time, unfortunately.
What are some of the elements of an environmental review?
I've never done one. I've not, I know they have to post so many, historical, data. There's, again, I'm speaking kind of out of turn because I've never done
We've
one.
had to write letters to all the
Yes.
Indian tribes in the whole state of Florida, to see if they think there may be some artifactual information,
Correct.
artifact. We've had to go to the historical society, we have to do floodplain analysis.
I think you probably answered my question, because I thought those were cultural element, some places I had seen it, it's under environmental review.
Yes,
Maybe a
yes.
cultural resource assessment,
Something
yeah.
like that.
It's a huge task and a
Yeah.
huge document
I
when
knew
it's
that was a
finished.
big one, but I wondered about the environmental, I was thinking water flows and, those kinds of things, but that includes the cultural.
Well, if I understand the conference calls right, because I'm still learning, I think in the past it was like a 50-year floodplain, but now they come out and you have to do a 100-year
That's correct.
floodplain analysis.
That's
And so that's taken a little longer than what it used to be, the conversations I'm hearing on the conference
And
calls.
parameters change to that depending on what you're doing. For example, if you're putting in a generator, part of that environmental assessment is a blast radius for that generator. If it were to blow up, what's your blast radius? Do you have a block wall around it? If you don't, are you building one? Is it a diesel? Is it a buried tank? Is it above ground? There's a lot of factors. Just for one more example, I'm dealing with one in Graceville, and there's an oak tree that we are removing, and they've asked me, are there colored bats in that oak tree? Never heard it before, but that's a new. I said, no, there's no bats in this tree. We're good. Somebody's got to go out there. That was a joke. Somebody's got to go out there and look at it and see. But yeah, that's a new question in the environmental that I've had to answer. That I've helped the Fred Fox, or also that admin group there doing that. That I've had to answer. So I'll just leave it at that.
I've never seen it crazy.
I'm certainly not a naysayer, I hope, but down here, you got roads coming out of Chipley, and it comes out here and it runs down like this. And down here, you got roads coming out Pembroke City, and it gets here and it runs down like this. I hate to see if Forest Avenue, Forest Avenue build up water one day, because where our railroad bank is, I've seen it way deep in the water, and I've seen 77 on the water all the way up, and you're about to the Baptist church down there. So if you build something like that out there, I wonder, I hope we don't. The engineer maybe took care of that with those new pipes and things, but it's,
I think that was the only other thing I had for you, Jonathan.
That's it. So you said Tuesday. They told me Monday of next week they should be out there, but Monday or Tuesday, the first of next week, they should start doing the pump there. Is what they wanted to do it this past Monday, but a crew member and somebody had a baby and they had time off, and he said, I just don't want to send half a crew. And I said, no, they need to have a full crew because safety's number one. And I said that by pre-con, and I'll say that to the dad now, safety's number one. And if you don't have a full crew, hold off. I want a full crew, I don't want anybody to get hurt. So they said this week, coming up should be.
The well project, we did have to, because it was at the last minute that they called and said, listen, we're ready to do it. I did have to make a decision on the old generator. I moved it behind the Possum Palace on the north end where the new rooms are gonna be after our remodel. And so if we wanna hook it up, when we are doing the remodeling at the Possum Palace, we can get that wired into the building and have the generator for the Possum Palace if we wanna do that at some point. I know the year of Hurricane Michael, the National Guard had that staged as a feeding place, and they had personnel that stayed out there. And so that would be kind of nice.
That's the place.
If it ever happens again, but we can pay to have it moved if y'all want to do something else with it. Okay?
Anything else? Thanks again, appreciate it.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Detailed conversations.
So,
The budget status I've got listed in here. That, if y'all have any questions about that, or you can ask me about it or whatever. But then the next thing is the property plat for the Smith property. You know, Tommy had came before the last meeting and asked me. I did go to the clerk's office and got the plat, and it's included in here. Let's see.
That's the black and white thing. That's just in front of the picture.
Oh, that's right, I get mine to Jeff. Yeah, and so you see, no, it's all right.
So you can have that.
Okay. It shows there that it's just basically an unnamed road.
This one?
Yeah, no, it should look like this.
That's the yellow highlight on it.
It's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's right here behind the clerk tab somewhere. It's folded. And so basically, this is the plat, what it looks like, so it's just an unopened road. And so, I'm gonna have to go back and do some research to see what you do with an unopened road and get with Jeff about it, because I don't know what.
Well, I've been trying actually, because I've got an answer for you, but I've been trying to figure out who's got all the property around it. So what you mentioned to me in your email, and correct me if I'm wrong, Smith family has one side of it, the other side is the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Does one of those wrap around to the very end of it? Is it completely surrounded by Smiths and the state of Florida, or is there a third parcel owner at the end of it? That's what I can't figure out on my map on the property appraiser side.
I'm not sure.
He didn't mention that. He just said it was Smith and.
Yeah, he
State
mentioned
of
us,
Florida.
yeah, it was them.
Gosh, if I could. I've been trying to
The
locate
property
it.
appraiser's office was no help. I mean, those pictures are no help at all.
No, ma'am, they're not as well.
Yeah, that's why I had to go actually get the plat.
So what normally happens is, it wouldn't be a sale to them, it'd be an abandonment. And you notify all the property owners that are adjacent to it or touch it, and see who agrees with it or disagrees with the abandonment, and whether they want any portion of it. And just for easy, let's just say it's just, 100 feet, and it's Smith's, state of Florida, and they come together on the end, and they're the only two. So we just notify the two. I mean, obviously the Smiths already know because they've come to us wanting it, or come to y'all wanting it. But you still send them a formal letter, which I would do, and the same for the state. And then if they agree to the abandonment, then normally you split it right down the middle, and half the road goes to each parcel owner. And then it just becomes, title to it merges to the title to their existing property. And then it's theirs to figure that out, the property appraiser going forward. And then by ordinance is how we do the abandonment after all that.
That's posted on, post the road, we used to have to post the road, or send it to the commissioner's office or something, for them to do something to the plat.
I don't think that we have to do that, and we just notify the property appraiser once we get the second reading of the ordinance after the process of notifying the owners, which here would be easy. I did one years ago in Bluntstown. It was, I want to say there was like 18 owners, and that took a little while because 3 or 4 of them didn't live in town, and they weren't getting their mail or if they lived out of town. But we eventually got it done. This sounds like that'd be pretty easy and quick for us, though.
So if they're willing to buy it, can we sell it to them or no?
No, ma'am. Yeah, I know, we got to abandon it, and then the adjoining parcels get split up.
Or we can not abandon it and farm it or use it, or city, I'm sure needs 60 feet out of the swamp sometimes.
We need access to that swamp.
You actually could, if it was usable, you actually could lease it.
Yeah.
You sure could, to an adjoining property owner. Sounds like this isn't one for that.
I doubt the state of Florida cares.
So in the, when we notify the property owners, do we have to give them like the length and the width?
Yes, ma'am.
So
We
what,
just-
will they
just
get
give them-
surveyed for
Just
that?
give them either a survey or a visual on the plat. If we could get a clear picture from the property appraiser site that delineates it, which is really gonna be a platted thing, it's not a parcel, it's a part of the plat, which I think that ought to serve. We can attach that to the letter. And, that ought to be good.
I think you'll find it is the state because Gene Owens had a lot in the end of that thing, and I think when they extended the holding pond down there, that it goes back there, and I think they got her hold, Owens' widow. I think they got that back there, extended the holding pond into it, and that was gonna be the far end of it, so I think the state's gonna come around like this, and Tommy's family's gonna come into it like this at the end of it. I'm not sure, but I think that's what you're going to find. You can see a faint line right there where some other property owners are.
What does it actually look like? Just out of curiosity, the analysis to it, is it like gravel? Is it brushy? Is it?
You can't even tell.
You can't even tell.
Or another drawer there.
First,
There's a driveway there actually for the existing thing.
I got you.
If you didn't know any better, you would think, it had something to do with it, but it's not because of,
Is that the Smiths?
yes,
Okay.
the Smith driveway.
So they're already using it.
Well, as a circle drive, just basically, yeah.
And he was telling us that they're monitoring wells on it, on the property, on both his and the one that's the town. There used to be a gas station.
Okay, well then we might have an easement issue then we might have to deal with on that, get in public records and find out. So monitoring, are there any other utilities out there we know of, any water, electric, or anything that runs across it?
I'm sure the water
I'm
does.
sure they all do, probably, it's right there off 77.
on the parcel it's an abandoned service station.
Okay. Well, of course, the regular
Water
utilities,
wells or DEP or whoever
they'll be further outside of the right of way then, right? They're not, like the utilities will be in the right of way, so actually we won't have to worry about that. But if the monitoring wells are out there
on the properties.
on the property beyond the right of way, then we would need to get an easement in favor of whomever. Is that a public utility for gas or is that a private gas company? I don't know.
I don't know this, do you know?
He just told me that they had enrolled in some kind of monitoring program, and they've been enrolled in it for quite a while, and that these wells are included in that monitoring program.
And when you say he and Mr. Smith, so are they on his property or are they on the abandoned?
Both of them. That's what he was telling us.
On the abandoned property.
That's what Tommy was saying.
I knew it was between him and the house and him and where the church is now.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Can you get that information from him or put me in
Yeah,
touch with him directly and I can get it and figure out who he's dealing with and exactly where they sit? If they're on his existing property, we won't have to deal with it. But if one or both of them are on the portion that's gonna be abandoned to them, well, if neither of them are on his property and he would not have an existing easement, then they'll want an easement. If I'm their lawyer, I'm gonna tell them you need to get an easement. If one of them already is on his existing property and he has an easement, then he can extend the easement to the second one.
Yeah, I'll see what
I
I
think that's the right answer.
I think there's
Off
no
the top of
problem
my
going
head.
there because any further that away, you're gonna be in the run of that creek. I think all the wells are gonna be, south and east. I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I worked out when I was a senior in high school, so,
Really?
they got to be in Wales after that, so that's been a long time ago.
Okay. Well, if you could mention that to him,
Oh, well.
and it's just another thing we want to tie off so he doesn't, down the line, assuming this all goes through, doesn't have some kind of issue with it.
Okay.
Or any subsequent purchaser can.
Yep, I can do that.
So is the appropriate thing here then to, based on all that research, maybe look at an ordinance next meeting?
Well, let me see what,
Okay, I'm just saying if
Yeah.
it's there,
yeah.
Y'all could
look
just
to the
direct,
first reading.
y'all could just direct me and Lynn to go forward, and you don't need a vote to do that.
Then would feel confident with that step to make it.
And it'll be a little bit of a process, getting the notices, getting them approved, getting them out, getting the response. And so the first meeting might be 2 months from now. And assuming there's no big deals with easements or anything,
All right.
2 or 3 months.
All right, thank you.
And the only other thing I had was the maintenance position. We did advertise for the maintenance position. I got probably 18 resumes, and I did contact them. I narrowed it down to the 3 that I really liked, that I thought would be the best fit for the town. Since that time, one of them's references did not pan out. The other one has left the area. And so Jordan is here tonight. Jordan King is the one that I called on Jordan a couple of weeks ago. We had a leak on the main at the EOC. It was during the cold weather, and I had no clue what to do with it. Jordan used to work for the city of Bonifay in their water department, and I did call the water department. They gave him great reviews, and in fact said if they got an opening, they would hire him again. But I told him once I hire him, he's off the limits. But since that time, I have also talked to him about the animal control. If he would be interested, if he gets hired, get certified in animal control, he said he'd be glad to do that. So I'm here tonight with the one application that I really like. I think he'll be a great fit for the town. And to see if y'all want to interview him, if you want to, what's the pleasure of the council?
I have a couple of questions for me. Have we completed the background check, or do we do that after we decide we want to?
We do it after we decide.
All right. And I've noticed the desired salary, and I'm juxtaposing that up against what we know we'll be able to pay. And you had that conversation
I did not.
with on that. Okay. So,
Well, regarding the background check, you can see that he was forthcoming. I'll say that. And I did do some checking. It was back in 2020. And so for 6 years, there's been no problems. But
were there any other personal references that you were able to?
I did call his pastor, which he did not list as a reference, but I called her. She gave him great reviews.
Okay.
She said she felt like he had got his life together and that he was doing good, and that she would have no problem recommending him. And that was Cody Boyette from the Valley Church.
I know one of his other references out in English. He's kind of the vocational person at the Department of Correction. He used to have his own paint and body shop, did automotive repairs and stuff like that. He's I don't know that I've ever seen an arrow any more straighter than at an English, so I know the reference.
And he gave him a very good reference. In fact, he said, you hire him, you have any problem with him, you call me first. That's what he told me. He said, yes, sir, but I can take care of it.
Jordan, tell me about your current business. Is it okay if you ask questions? Tell me about your current business, what you're doing.
I do concrete construction, dirt work, and remodeling. I kind of started it like with nothing.
Right.
I left a full-time paying job and just chased it. And I have work and stuff, but it just slowed down. And I'm just in a position where I kind of want to find me a stable job with stable hours for after work that I could just kind of build it up and still work on it. This is something that I would like to do full-time. And like the longevity of it, which retirement and insurance, that's something I'd really like to do, and then possibly find somebody to kind of run my business while I do this. That's the hope. But it's been less than a year since I've had my business. So, if you ever have a business, kind of, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And as you can see from my record, more people see that than they see who I am today. So it kind of messes me up some, but like I said, if any one of y'all call any one of the references, they'll tell you that I'm not what that paper says. I used to be. I'm a different man, give my life to God, married, I have a daughter, and I just want to be successful and consistent. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
What are your thoughts about, one of the things that we find in the public when you work for the city or any kind of government, there's typically people are watching, right? And so, how do you feel like we'll be able to make sure that we don't get any conversations around, oh, well, he's working his other business while he's working for y'all? How do we work to make sure we work through that, keep that clear?
Well, whatever my time is, when I come here, this is where I'm at.
Okay.
And when I leave, when my time is up here, I'm assuming it's 40 hours a week. So from, whatever the start is to the finish, this is what I'll be doing. And Miss Lynn's had me doing stuff around here, and I've noticed a lot of things that I could do to stay busy. There's a lot.
Oh, there's lots to do.
Yeah, there's lots.
Especially as summer's coming back for you.
Yeah. And she spoke with me about that in the grass, and
Yeah.
there's consistent work, but I would never overstep a boundary of working here and then trying to do my own thing at the same time. Like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Okay, just want to make sure, because those kind of things get asked,
absolutely.
as we've dealt with, you deal with the public and they ask different questions than if you're just working for yourself or working for a private.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Any other concerns, John? That's open.
Well, what about you that you haven't told us? We got a limited application. Is there something about you that we don't know?
No, so the application asked about the last 5 years of work history. I was out of work for like a year and a half, almost ripped my arm off. I had 2 surgeries, was laid up and couldn't work. And then finally I got cleared by workman's comp and was able to go back to work. I worked heavy equipment, and got hurt doing that, but I was able to go back to work. So that's why there was such a large gap in between. And it just asked me about the 5 years, so I didn't want to just throw extra stuff in there that wasn't in that time frame that was asked for, which I could have filled stuff in, but I just didn't want to put anything that wasn't in the actual time frame.
There's certain things we can't ask you, and I don't know what they are, so if I ask you anything you don't want to answer, Mr. Carter will help me.
I'll throw a flag.
Y'all can ask me anything, I'm gonna be
Okay,
open.
I understand. Do you have a dependable transportation getting to work? It's not gonna be a problem?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually live right around the corner, but I have several vehicles. Yeah, no problem with transportation.
No chronic health issues that would keep you from being able to work
No, sir.
regularly and things like that?
No, sir, nothing. And I show up every day.
Let Mr. Carter say it's all right to ask you before we answer. Any family issues? We don't need a wife showing up with a gun or.
No.
Let's stop that.
No.
Enough of that.
I'm happily married. I have, good family life and everything like that. She's mean, but she ain't that mean.
And your experience goes beyond the one work. It sounds like you're construction. What about electric?
I'm not an electrician. I've done electrical work and I know how to do it, but I'm not a licensed electrician. I'll say that. Yeah, not. I mean, I've done my own wiring and stuff and for family, but I'm not no certified.
And the city's not asking you to do anything that requires a license.
Oh yeah, no.
Mr. Carter wants to be clear. Yeah, the majority of our work has been, and I tried to work with volunteer with Philip, and I'll do the same thing with you if we select you, that, we may have to troubleshoot why a relay is not,
Yeah.
and then we'll call an electrician to repair that relay. That's pretty much the extent of what we do. Just what seems to be going wrong? Who do we need to call to get that repair started? And so.
And I think I have one more interview for Ms. Lynn. How much Philip got already doing lots of our work, monitoring and those kind of things? Is that something that you've talked about? Is that,
Or what or what?
our waterway monitoring and reports and,
Oh, yeah, most of those are being done now by our water operator, David Castleberry.
Okay.
He's doing almost all of them now.
Okay.
He will, whoever we hire will have to go down each morning and just jot down some information. It's not anything that's required, it's just something we're doing to have our own information about the well, and stuff like
They're
that.
doing some logging that doesn't require any kind of certifications.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any more questions.
So my question is, the desired salary, is that something
I
you
haven't-
ever work with?
You put on your $20 an hour.
I'm flexible. You know, I mean,
The council had, I think we had advertised it at 16.
Are you that flexible?
How flexible, yeah, I'll 35.
man, that's a little tough, but I mean, I would really like to, I mean,
Sure.
you know, I mean, I'm not trying to beat nobody over the head, and I'm sure y'all ain't trying, I know y'all got stuff y'all got to do, and the city's a lot of attention to that comes with that. So I'm flexible, and if all of y'all are offering is 16, and I'll stand by that, and I'll show up every day, and I'll do what I'm supposed to do on my end.
Well, after your probationary period's over, you usually get a little raise anyway after that, you know?
Do you live here in Wausau?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
So one of your biggest problems might have to be is turning your phone off.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm not one that stays on my phone all the time.
Let's call Jordan.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll do it.
I got a voicemail. They can go to it.
Yeah. Well, what type of movement do we need? What's our next steps as far as the council is concerned? Lynn?
Typically, y'all just vote to hire or vote to,
We
Re-advertise?
We really don't need to interview any more applications, I don't think, do we?
not unless you're not satisfied with this one, you want me to go back.
Well, I'm satisfied with this. What do we need to do? Just, hire them? Right, make a motion.
Yeah.
Hire him and set a salary.
Hire them at, $16 an hour start?
If that's what the council's open to. If you want to go up, that's okay too.
Is that, okay, what was Philip making?
What now?
What was Philip
He
making?
was at 18.
Okay,
I think he started at 16 and went up to 17. And then we did the 3%. It wasn't all the way 18, it was 17.
Okay.
Something else.
so we use 18 as maximum and we always start for probation, 10% something less, don't we?
We usually give him $1 an hour a raise after the probationary period.
After probation.
And
Okay,
we starting at 16, is that right?
That's what we advertise it at. Y'all can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good to me.
I,
Can we afford to do a little bit more?
I was wondering if we're gonna get to 18 too quick for our budget. I'm not trying to not pay you, but
Yeah, you're good.
We want to pay you 25, we just got to meet a budget.
the last 2 years, our budget has not been,
Well, after if you start him at 17 and he gets 18 in 6 months, then after that he only gets 3% or whatever the council
raise.
votes to, 3% isn't really a whole lot.
So, can we start him out at 17 then?
well, if he goes from 0 to 60 in 4 or 5 months, that's not bad. It's still not what he can get on the open market probably, but
True. I mean, he has a lot of good water experience. I think in 1 week I had 3 water breaks. And I had to call him, I'm like, can you please come help me? He did very good on Hollow.
And you're sort of going to his probation period.
I was just like, I don't know, I don't have anybody to help me. So he did really well.
Do you feel like we can entertain 17 in your motion, Mr. Parks? Is that
Yeah, I'd like to, yeah.
okay?
And the probationary period, what, 3 months?
6 months.
6 months?
he said February.
August.
March, April, May, June, August will be 6
August.
months. And then a new budget in October.
October.
Wow.
Is that a motion, Mr. Parks? Or we-
You need a motion now.
Rock, yes,
That is a
thank you.
motion.
Oh, okay.
Let me second it for discussion. I think that's the proper way in this, sensitive as this may be, we might want to cross our eyes and dot T's.
Okay.
I'll second for discussion.
All right.
If we do it and kind of follow our custom, of course, it's, you know, it's always an odd time of the year or something, but if we do it now, in 6 months, give a $1 raise, and then in 3 months, give a 3% raise, that's gonna be moving to the top of the scale faster than we've ever done. And not that you always do what you always did. I'm just saying, we don't know what the budget's gonna look like.
But would, $17 an hour now be good?
Well, it depends. My question is, what's gonna happen in 6 months if we retain him?
Yeah, so my thoughts are that,
$17 an hour.
Yeah.
Plus 3%.
and again, you know,
And that brings to,
Over $17 if you do.
well, it'd be a little over 17, yeah, after,
I'm sorry, I was just making sure I understood what y'all were. So my thoughts about it, like, listen, we all know, and we're not discussing here what you're worth, unfortunately. We are discussing again what our budget can. I think that, I don't think we should feel bad about if we end up going to 18, that we may not do the 3%, right? I mean, does that make sense? Like, if we say, okay, because we'll be making that decision. But we may get there and say, wow, I mean, we don't have any problem throwing another 3% on or whatever, right? I mean, we may say, we're really glad. And frankly, I know it's not gonna last forever, but for now, I think our budget shows that we can support that. We know we were supporting 18.
And I don't think any of us wouldn't have given Philip more
Absolutely.
2 or 3 times in the past year, so.
Right, yeah. And I think the same's gonna be true of Jordan, based on what I can sense. I'm looking forward to jumping into a hole with you, man. Wait, standing up there on top of it,
That's all right.
handing you your stuff.
That'll work.
This straight, yeah, what do we all think? I'll make my motion, I'll make my second permanent or vote for a vote if y'all don't have any discussion on it.
I'm good with starting him out at 17 if Miss Lynn thinks that we can do that.
I think we can do it. I'm a tough boss now. If you don't make the cut, I'm gonna come back to you.
Yeah.
I told you that.
And just so we understand, we have had this before. You do understand that Lynn, in effect, will be your boss. She's the hub, and all the rest of us is the wheel. And,
We are not.
Yeah, yeah.
We may call you and ask you something, but then you call her.
Yeah, yeah. You got problems working for a lady?
Absolutely not. I work for my wife 7 days a week.
That's a smart man.
Well trained.
Good answer. All right, then I'll call for the
Miss
vote.
Judy, you got
More
anything?
discussion.
No, I'm good with 17.
Okay, then your motion restated is that we go with 17 and follow our procedures of, in 6 months, if he's okay, give him his,
yeah,
to the 18, that'd be where Philip was.
18, yeah.
And then the rest of it, like you said, take care of itself. We, 100%, and the budget, it may get, there have been years we didn't give anything.
Right. That'll be
We
something
could
we
do 5 or 10.
look at, yeah, at the time.
I'll second that motion for the budget.
Okay,
Good. All right, Ms. Rattenberg, how would you vote on that?
Yes.
Mr. Trainer?
Yes.
Ms. Carter?
Yes.
Mr.
yes.
Parks? And the chair will vote yes on that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
That's all I had.
I volunteer to, I'll do some orientation with you.
Sounds good.
I drove around with Philip a couple of days before he left, let him telling me all the little nuance things, and
Absolutely.
took some videos and pictures to try to figure out how we can make sure we communicated that back out. But I'm not your boss, I'm just there to,
When is this effective? When does he start?
I need him Monday. I'd like him to be at the beginning of the well project, so he can learn and see from the very beginning of the well project out there.
I'll be there tomorrow if you want to.
I don't wanna work tomorrow. Wait till Monday.
Well, he's gotta get,
We gotta do the background check.
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta do that.
Which I actually attached in my, that's court record. That's what I attached in there. That's straight from the clerk of courts.
Okay.
You saw all that.
I did.
That's yours, just a business.
Okay, moving on, I think that was all for,
We got plenty.
we looked at property plat, we looked at the, resolution 2026-01. Right. And so, Mr. Park, did you have anything for the,
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I noticed on social media that the caution light up here has been permanently removed, 77 at Pioneer Road.
Yes.
77. We really need a caution light up there. And, maybe we could, somehow go back for some more grant money for that or something. Or do we
it'll be up to DOT.
Or do we go through DOT?
That's gonna be a policy decision, that won't be a budget decision.
And by the way, that was something that, if y'all remember when they came here and did the big presentation, on all of their drawings, they showed that missing, and I asked for clarity, and he was very clear to say there would not be a signal out there. It's not a change.
So.
It was always a plan.
Well, maybe we can go back later.
Yeah. It does seem strange, but, and I can tell you, it's already a little more difficult to get out of Pioneer,
If you want a
because
copy,
people are not slowing down.
if you want a copy of the 4-page letter that I wrote to DOT, and just put your name on the bottom of it, I got one. And in talking to them, they say they will reevaluate this at the final inspection and will put appropriate signalization, which means go off and do something else. If we need you, we'll call you.
That was their answer.
So we can hope for that. I just dread to see the school bus come up and then they cross 2 lanes.
Yeah.
They stop in the medium because they're trying to beat the traffic anyway, and then they got to cross 2 more lanes. And
Okay, this speed limit's gonna be 45, right by Keys. 3 people.
Now, to me, that's the, I apologize, that's not the time. But in response to yours, to me, that's the request we should make. Can we lower down
They're gonna drive 50
Wausau?
or 55 on that 4-lane highway. I just hate to see a school bus or something come out from there, you know, and can't get across.
they got a stoplight at Bozeman School, but not where you turn off to go to Bozeman School. It's south and north of the light. The only traffic it regulates is 77 and,
Where the convenience store is.
do that to the landfill or something like that.
Yeah.
And I certainly believe, I think we need more than the caution light back. If we could get that would be simply be an indicator or get your attention, but I think we need
At least a caution
full signal.
light.
I think we need a full signal light.
What is the process? Do we start that conversation now, or you recommend we just need to look at it as?
I think we do it very discreetly, probably through our clerk again, saying, hey, you're seeing the Facebook just like we are. What can we tell folks? And is there going to be any reconsiderations, and can we get a signal line or something back up there at the completion of the job?
Okay.
It bothers me that it's going anytime. Strangers passing through might not, but it concerns me that it's gone at any time, but it doesn't concern me as bad if it's gone now as part of the reconstruction, as long as it comes back after the reconstruction is finished. And I don't think that's what any of you are here.
All right.
I don't know, his name was, I think he's actually the head of the department now, but the engineer that started out, I got his name, I can give that to you, but I think he's the district secretary now, if you know who I'm talking about, DOT district secretary.
I don't. It's not Gainer anymore, is
No,
it?
I
I don't know.
he was the head of this project, and now he's the head of the whole thing, not promoted, but that's who I'd talk to, somebody that's in the DOT office. And if you can get them down here, I'll be glad to meet with somebody if they have a meeting with us, or I'll go to the office if we can meet.
We need the town hall meeting,
Yeah,
with all the people in Wausau to come.
that would really be good. Ask them to come to our next board meeting and give us an update on the business up through Wausau, and then just give the letter to everybody and tell them he's gonna be here.
That's good, that's gonna be a good presentation.
More ways to skin cats out, more to hair off of them.
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Rathburn, anything?
I don't have anything.
What did I tell you this evening? I don't have anything. She forgot what I was saying.
If she doesn't have anything, you don't have
It may have been the
I
caution.
don't remember you telling me anything.
anything. Ms. Carter?
I'm good.
Okay. I don't have anything. I would just mention that one of the things that y'all know that Mr. Park had decided to move off the Tourism Development Council Board, and y'all voted to place me on that, which I've been serving, has been an honor to serve. And so they have asked me in coming months, and it'll probably be April or May, to do a presentation. Of course, y'all know we've had the 250 sign out here to celebrate, or the Freedom, the birthday 250 sign, or whatever it's called. We're also going to be placing there's some additional work going on from tourism development around that and around the county. So I'll be sharing with y'all in future meetings about that. I'll do a formal presentation. And so, Mr. Carter?
Mayor, I'm sorry, Mr. Phillips.
Chair, we got you on the spot.
Yeah, we hadn't had an election.
Yeah, I know. Any other things that we'd love? Mr. Crawford, did you have anything? All right.
Leave adjourned.
All right. Got a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
All right. All in favor of that?
Second.
About you? Aye? Just general aye? Okay.
Aye.
Let me see.